Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. I'm very happy. This is a very, very special episode today because with me today, I have Melissa Taylor, who is not only involved in this incredible health transformation program called Optavia, but she's also my neighbor. And not only is she my neighbor, but my Charlie Brown and her Jack, yang, 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 is how I call Jack, her dog, are besties. So, Melissa, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm excited to hear all about this incredible program that you are living and working with. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for inviting me. And I definitely do have the best neighbor ever who found Jack.
I found Jack at
Yeah,
Christmas.
Smiling Jack, definitely. So I really appreciate you inviting me to come on. And it's amazing, again, if you just step out and ask for help sometimes, that's how things happen. So I just asked you, how I could share what I'm doing. And you're like, hey, girl, this is perfect. I actually got a podcast, a show that I do. So I really appreciate you inviting me on.
Yeah, well, I think so many more people need to hear about these programs. Everybody, everybody's built different. Everybody thinks differently. There's a million choices out there for us today. I myself do beach body workout every morning, and you see me riding my bike all the time.
Right.
Melissa is extremely active. You have children. You're a mom. You unfortunately lost your husband not too long ago. We like real lives happening.
Yeah.
And we really need people in our lives that can help us get through these tough times. I mean, God knows we don't need to mention what's happening in the world because we're living in it.
Right.
But our health affects everything. The way we take care of our bodies affects our minds. The way we take care of our minds affects our bodies. So, Melissa, why don't you tell the audience, the office? Why don't you tell my office? Why don't you tell the audience today a little bit about who you are and why you chose to go this route in your life?
Sounds good. So I was definitely the yo-yo dieter before meeting my husband when I was 25. And I was the girl that the parents were making healthy meals. And then I'd go to Miami Subs, get the double cheeseburger, French fries, shake,
Mm.
cheesecake, eat everything very quickly in my car, stick the wrappers under my seat, and then just move on to the next day. I was at Bally's, I was working out, I was, trying to do things the right way. But I was just living lives. There was just things I was doing behind the scenes. And when you've got a healthy family and in general everyone seems pretty healthy, you just don't want to share those things and it just doesn't seem big enough, that it's an issue.
Right.
That kind of stayed with me throughout high school. And then I ended up meeting my husband who owned Body Construction. It was actually the first gym in Tampa, personal training gym back in '86.
Wow. So what was it? Body
Body
construction?
Construction. It was on Kennedy Boulevard.
Wow.
It was the first personal training gym, along with a guy by the name of Dan Wall, who's still doing that now.
Wow.
But he was actually actually went to California, was one of the trainers there, came to Tampa and was literally one of the first trainers, did a write-up on a piece of paper, made 100 copies, went to Gasparilla, gave them out,
Wow.
and literally got his first 2 clients by just old school writing out on a piece of paper, giving out flyers.
Amazing. I love that.
So I meet him, and I'm 30 pounds overweight, got out of school from occupational therapy. I'm drinking and partying and having fun and eating and all these things. And he's like, girl, we need to get you, we got to get you feeling good and looking good and just getting you in a better space. So I was an OT assistant, occupational therapy assistant at the time. And then I ended up, we were just so crazy in love. He's like, why don't you come work with me? I'm going to teach you how to be a great trainer. We'll get you certified. I've been doing this forever. Come do this business and have this with me. So he did give me half the business, which was a big deal for him. It was a mom and pop studio. So I had my journey of getting healthy, losing weight, if you want to call that as part of it. But the big thing that I never was able to grasp was the changes that needed to go on in here. Which is, I think, why we yo-yo so much, right? Anybody, you can pretty much pick anything and just eat that. You can go on a cabbage soup diet. You can go on a, the different back and forth, type diets that, again, you're on off, type things. But I mean, if you're not changing what's up here, and we don't make true lasting changes, we're going to be doing the same cycle. And as we all know, as we get older, it gets harder each time, right?
Yes.
When
Oh,
you weigh that
yes.
same weight again, you're like, well, wait a minute, this is what I weighed 5 years ago, but I look so different. But we're losing muscle along the way as we're doing these crazy fat diets.
Right.
So I always knew there was kind of something missing. Roy was really big in teaching his clients the emotional part of connection to food. What's our history, with our families, how do we connect with food? Usually foods with parties, happy, sad, anything that's going on, that we celebrate with food.
Totally.
So,
and it's legal.
and it's legal, exactly.
And we need it to survive.
Exactly. And that's back to fuelings, and this company that I'm with, we do call what the company, which we'll go over in a little bit, we call them fuelings. And that is really what food is for. We're fueling our bodies. Obviously, we enjoy it too. It needs to taste good, but we just abuse it and use it for the wrong reasons, which is why so many people that are sick. And we know a lot of it's coming from the food that we eat, right? Or too much of or too little of. So fast forward, we have this gym. We do this together. I'm still kind of yo-yoing back and forth. I'm still every so often, I'll be honest, clients that I have out there, I'd be stopping at Dunkin' Donuts, getting a donut before I'm going to train.
Yeah, I love that honesty.
It was just real,
Yeah.
And something's just missing here, even though I had a husband that was Mr. Tony Robbins himself, constantly, you could do it, and putting books and all these things out there for me. So about 4 years ago, he ends up getting colon cancer. Being that he's so holistic, we did go the natural route to start.
Mm-hmm.
Then we ended up doing chemoradiation. We did, he did everything from the, the enemas, the organic coffee enemas. We did Reiki, we did the bowls, singing bowls, we did everything. He tried
acupuncture, the whole alternative route.
Everything.
Mm-hmm.
We ended up going to a clinic in Mexico for 3 weeks called Chipsa. And they really were big in the emotional, mental connection to our healing. And he already believed that, but it actually just spurred on more with me of knowing that when I eventually shared this again, I need to really spend more time in that, because it's everything. And like I said, if we don't change this, it's going to be short term. It's just going to be banging your head up against the wall constantly. So we get back. He had about 4 months more that he was with us. So he passed away January of last year.
I'm so sorry.
Thank you. Thank you. And he was my biggest cheerleader. I mean, he was the guy that would be on stage, and he used to always tell me, honey, at some point you're going to be the one that's going to take this role. I thought it was him being lazy, saying, I've worked all this time now.
It's your turn.
Yeah.
You mean he actually wanted you to live the healthy lifestyle that he had been shouting about?
Yeah. And sharing it with other people. He always told me, you're going to be the one on stage. You're going to be the one connecting with people. I'm like, no, that's what you do. I'm behind the scenes. I'm helping you. And he said, no, he goes, you're going to have a voice, and just be ready for it. And I just thought he was crazy. Started doing Facebook Lives while he was sick to share his story. And then I started to realize the impact you have on people with being real, with being authentic, with sharing, hey, look, here's a personal trainer that you would think on paper has everything together. Why does he have cancer, and why does he eventually pass? So that was hard, because I had a lot of people calling me, well, I thought he did everything right. And, you see, it doesn't really matter. You could eat whatever you want. Look what happened to Roy. So I would really have to stop people in their tracks and say, look, you already know exactly what he would say. Living that life, number one, he impacted thousands in the Tampa Bay area. Number two,
you really did. I just want to interject and say that I have been so like, it was heartwarming to hear how many people knew of him and knew of his story and respected all the work that he did, and very obviously passed that on to your children who are playing basketball outside and like all night long, all day, all night. It was really a true lifestyle. So his legacy continues to live on, and it's so nice that he poured all of that into you so you could do what you're doing today.
Well, and what everybody either loved or did not like about him would be he was the most real person. If you came in with problems and then you're, oh my God, but blah, blah, he's like, stop, wait a minute. Okay, you're alive. Like, he was that guy that just got you to like put all that crap away for a little bit. focus on what you did have going on, right? And then how can we, how can we move from there? He was always that guy that said, stop looking through the rearview mirror. We're going forward here. We need to move forward. So I didn't realize how much he instilled in me, and I still, that's what constantly is a reminder to me is you wonder what you tell your kids, right? What you're quote preaching, and you wonder at times what sticks. So much more does than we realize. And you might not see it that day, but now, 2 decades later, we were married 21 years. Now I'm going to continue his legacy in my way, and be able to take that with me. So he passes away. I took a year off this past year just to regroup, see what I wanted to do, knowing I needed to get myself healthy first.
Sure.
While he was sick, I needed to make more money because I was like, oh my God, all these bills were coming in. He wasn't working. And I said, I need to do something. I need to add some kind of income to our family. So I'm scrolling on Facebook, as we all do. And I see one of my neighbors from our old neighborhood, and she is looking like a new person. And I'm like stalking her, as we all do, right?
Yeah.
Didn't like or say anything at the time, but I'm just looking, I'm going back and for like an hour going through all her old pictures. I'm like, something has really changed about Noelle, my friend. And, she looked about 50, 60 pounds lighter, but not just that, she seemed lighter, her personality. She's got 5 kids, and she was bicycling, and she was out, and she was going on dates with her husband, and just looked lighter. I'm like, something is up. So I called her up, and I'm like, I don't know what you're doing. You need to let me know.
Yeah.
Come to figure out, she had me as one of the people she did not want to tell about the program because I was the gym owner. I was the one that knew everything, and there's no way I'd want to know about what she's doing.
Right.
And that's what we always think, right? Like we have nothing
Sure.
to share. So she tells me, that she's doing this program, and it's Optavia is the name of the program. That stands for Optimal Life. And she's like, this has completely changed my world, not just physical health, but mental baggage. I've got my, my relationship back. I'm a better mom, all these things. And I'm making an income. Like I'm actually for the first time bringing income into our family. Wonderful. So fast forward, I said, give me more. Let me see what's going on. Once I looked at the full program, had Roy fine tooth comb it. He was like, do it. Let's just see, how you do. So I first wanted to do the program myself. Obviously you got to be, do it first before you're sharing it. I had the best experience. I think it was about 6 weeks. I lost, I'd say 18 pounds.
Wow.
I had more energy, and I was taking care of, I hate to say it, stage 4, husband, my kids. His mom had come to live with us. She was falling at the emergency room over and over, 2 jobs, type things. So it was crazy. But I would wake up before my alarm clock. My cravings were going down. I was feeling just alive and excited. And it was so weird because this was the worst time of my life. And then I found something that actually gave, people were like, what is going on with her, So I was like, well, I'm going to start coaching. This is perfect. And probably worked with about 25 clients. What I love about it, just to give you a quick understanding of it, is that it's for everybody. I first thought it was for the person that had to lose, 25, 30 or more pounds. What I started to realize very quickly is because we don't just work on physical health, we're working on mental health, we're working on relationships, surroundings. A lot of people, they have bad sleep habits. We're working on surroundings of who your friends are. What are you doing? So I had to realize very quickly that I was pigeonholing what my perfect client was. And I realized it was the doctor that didn't have but 5 pounds to lose, but wasn't sleeping and wasn't eating between surgeries. I realized it was the woman that had to lose 100 pounds that would never walk into my gym in the past. Right. We were never able to reach certain demographics. One of them was people that were, let's just say 75 pounds or more that they needed to lose. They wouldn't walk foot in our gym. We were in South Tampa. We had all the cute ladies coming over, with all their makeup and stuff done. And
well, let me interject for a second because I want to I just want to elaborate on what you're discussing because it really resonates a lot with me. I just got back from Miami Beach, and I said to my husband, I said, I'm definitely going to do some type of long post or blog Like if you have any insecurities about how you look, do not go to Miami Beach. Of course, we were, at the Fountain Blue, and it
Oh,
was, I was surrounded by people putting their makeup before they went to the beach. And I'm like, oh, that's so not who I am. And, I have had my own journey. So many of us, especially women, of course, men have their own journey, but women, I feel like, we get that wonderful hormonal change, and every month we might not feel good about ourselves.
exactly.
And we don't need the extra pressure of going to the gym and trying to look a certain way and worrying about somebody looking at us. So I am of that camp. I've always had the gym membership just up until last January. I made a decision that I was no longer going to give my money to a place that wasn't incorporating everything,
Right.
which is really what I need for myself. I know that me working out and me eating well is really more about my mental health than it is about my physical health. Of course, that's
Exactly.
obviously so important, but I was always so jealous, and I want to segue into what you're doing today. I was always so jealous about people that like really loved working out, where they were like, I can't wait to get up.
Can't wait to go run. Right.
Yeah, but man, oh man, when you really incorporate this as a lifestyle versus I got to lose 5 pounds, I got to
Yeah.
lose 10 pounds. I've been there. I have done it. I'm just like, a queen of, I did every diet known to man. I would lose the weight. I would always say, like, if I'm having a hard time breathing in and out of the dress, I'm doing good. Well, that is crazy, right? All of those dresses size sub-zero are still hanging up in my closet, thinking that that's going to happen to me again. I'm 48 now.
Yeah.
We change. And I think that, it's so great to have a program like this today because, especially again, I'm going to say for women, we really, really struggle. And
Yeah.
it can become very shame based, or we feel bad about ourselves and we don't want to tell anybody else. There's so many more of us that are feeling the same way. Hence the reason I wanted to have this conversation with you, because I know that you have had a hard time yourself and you have been able to, I'm quite sure you've had really hard times.
Oh yeah.
I know that. But you have been able to show up every day.
Yes.
And I'm sure that you incorporating this into your life has made that impact and made you just a stronger person that Roy instilled in you. And this program has just taken it to different heights. So, yeah, I want to hear more about you really getting back involved in this. Yes.
Yeah. So last thing because I know at some point our body construction Royites are going to be hearing this and they're going to say, oh my goodness, the part that you didn't share, which is true, is we definitely had the Cheers gym. Everybody knew your name at our gym. So we were a small mom and pop gym, 3,000 square feet. So if anybody was going to feel comfortable anywhere that was a gym, it was us, because we were the ones with t-shirts and shorts on, not the little things up our butts, So,
oh yeah, no, I heard that.
Yeah.
I mean, we have that mutual friend,
Theo. I said that,
Yes, no, 100%. Yes. You might have been in South Tampa, but
Right.
you guys were real.
Exactly.
Yes,
Exactly.
I definitely heard that.
So the reason why I'm really excited, and this definitely has become my mission. This is going to sound silly, but I wanted to be a missionary about 20 years ago. And when Roy said, well, that sounds great, but you need to first retire, make money, and then go do whatever you want to do. So I used to always think, how do I combine? How can I become and do missionary work, but still make an income? So I really have found my passion with this, because I do feel that I'm helping people to become their best self, right? And that is mission work. We all have it right from our home, where we start off every morning, to everybody we touch and affect all throughout the day. So I do feel this is my mission. And for me to be able to create an income, and now needing to create 2 incomes to support our family, I know that I can with what I'm doing. So that's even more exciting, which is pretty cool. But so the program itself, people can go into all the details and specifics if they want to look up stuff. I know we're going to have some links.
Yeah, we're going to have all of the links in the show notes for people.
But it was created by a doctor, and it was pretty much, he was working in the intensive care and always seeing people come in and out with all these major medical things. And he realized, 20 years ago, that the main thing was nutrition and lifestyle. If he could get to people sooner, they would not be where they were at. and they were losing so many people. And he felt like he really needed to be in a different place, to be more in the forefront, to get to people first, So
Yes.
what I love about the program is there's 4 components. The first one is you do have a health coach. So anybody that would be interested, they'd be able to explore with me and see if it's a good fit. But I would be their health coach. Everything's done online. We don't have to meet at a gym. We'd be doing something like this, Zoom calls, or even just, talking on the phone. But everything is online, so it's safe, especially with COVID going on. People don't have to leave their homes. So I would be their coach. I would be kind of just their cheerleader. We all need cheerleaders, and I think it's not just being excited about our wins, but then when you do have a loss, I'm the one to say, okay, let's brush off, get back up, and let's go. We don't need to wait till Monday to start. We're just going to start with that next quote, fueling, which we're going to talk about. So that's the first component, is I would be their coach, and there's 4 components. The second one, which is extremely important, is called the Habits of Health Transformation System. That's where we are pretty much just doing little micro habits at a time. And everything from sleep, and surroundings, what we're eating, what we're fueling our bodies with, water, stress levels, all that type of stuff. We have a book, and we call it I don't want to scare anybody, we call it it's like my Bible, but it's called a life book. And we're literally rewriting our health journey. And we're giving you the pen to say, hey, look, let's do this different this time. Let's not do what the parents did or what, this is going on. We're going to rewrite this.
Right.
And it's a journey. I always tell people, you might lose the weight in a month, 2 months, 6 months, but our health journey is long. It's ongoing, and that could be exciting if you think of it as a way that we're just, like you said, you're finding ways that you enjoy to exercise. I see you outside and you're biking and you're posting pictures and you're out in the water and you're doing things that you found that you enjoy. And that's healthy motion, so who cares if you're not at a gym? You're doing what your body needs, which is great. So that's the Habits of Health Transformation System, which is actually, we go through different elements. There's 26 of them, and you just go through at your own pace, and no one's telling you how much to read or not to read, but we have podcasts so you can listen to them in the car. And they go to the book as well. And you just work your way through at your level. But by the end, you've literally transformed every area of your life. And it's just one little micro habit at a time, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, I love the accountability. There's really something to be said about having somebody not just as your cheerleader, but that is going to keep you accountable. It makes a big difference. When I make a commitment to doing something, I always like to tell somebody else, because I need them to go, are you doing that, Sharon? You've been talking about it a lot, but are you doing it?
Exactly.
So I think that and I love health coaches, and I think that you guys bring such a different kind of experience, because like I said before, it can be very intimidating for anybody to start out on this journey. Everybody's on a different journey. But I think that when we really find somebody that can be a partner with us and to help, lift some of that burden that we've been carrying, and a lot of that is our weight, that this can really bring true freedom and happiness to anybody that's struggling. So we are going to have all of the show notes and information about how to learn more about Melissa and your journey. Is there anything else that you want to share with the audience before we go? Because that everybody has an attention span of a flea at this point, right, exactly. Melissa?
So last thing, quickly, when they call or they reach out, I'll go over the part, because I know people are thinking, well, what do you eat? I mean, so I don't know.
Yeah, what do you eat?
Okay. I'm thinking they're probably, okay, what do I need to put in my mouth?
Is there food involved?
Yes. And to give you the 60-second of what you'd be eating or fueling your body with is not everybody wants to cook 25 million meals in advance. Some people don't cook at all. So what we tell people is our company is going to send you in the mail 5 fuelings that you're going to be having each day. It could be shakes, bars, oatmeal, a brownie, believe it or not. All these different things that are created equally when it comes to proteins, fats, good carbohydrates, probiotics. So you don't have to worry about what you're eating. You just grab and go. Every 2 to 3 hours you're eating, which gives you sustainable energy. You do need to make 1 lean and green meal a day. That would be a protein and a veggie. We have tons of recipes. We have all of our local restaurants. We actually have their menus of what's really good for that. And we do have cooking classes and things for the people that want to get in the kitchen, I don't like to cook, but I've learned how to cook better. And it's the type of things where you have 5 ingredients, make something, and you're good to go. So that part, obviously, we need to fuel our bodies. We need to eat something, but it takes the guesswork out of it. And then we do transition people to, once they've gotten to their goal weight, we do show them how they can eat everything from just normal foods that they're making. Or like myself, I like the bars and shakes. It's quick, it's easy. So I stick with doing 3 or so of those a day, along with, making food as well.
I love it. I think that yeah, I have a lot of entrepreneur friends that, we don't cook.
Yeah.
Because we're women doesn't mean we cook. I'm very blessed to have married a man who loves to cook and enjoys cooking
Hallelujah.
healthy. I mean, really, like that was a gift. I'd be starving right now if it wasn't for him. But really and truly, like a lot of people just don't have the time to plan a meal. You have a bunch of children, you're running businesses. And it is so important, because if we starve our bodies, we're not doing ourselves any good. I learned that.
Last thing.
Yes.
Exercise. Is she gonna make me exercise?
Yes.
I will tell you this, 95% of people love when I say this. In the beginning, we are not worrying about exercise. We are worrying about this, and we're worrying about fueling the body.
Okay.
Baby steps. As you start to lose weight, as you have more energy, as your joints feel better, as your mind is better, as you're more willing to go out and get on a bike or do different things, we start incorporating healthy motion. But most people, unless they're a gym rat, they love when I say that, because they're like, now that I can handle, that I can start with. So I want to say that last thing, because I want people to realize, just because I owned a gym, I've come full circle realizing that's not for everybody. And I can reach more people and help more people if I can get them into something that they're comfortable doing. Maybe it's going on just a walk with the grandkids,
Totally.
pushing them on a scooter. I mean, something, once we get that motion in, obviously we all need to move.
Yes. Move a muscle, change a thought. That is 100% the way to go. So no boot camps with Melissa.
If people eventually want to do stuff, I already have some girls asking me, then I send them some videos, but it's all stuff at home. I walk the bridge and do lunges and squats as I walk. That's it.
I love it. We do live in the best place in the world to exercise outside. Melissa Taylor, I am so happy that you were here today. I'm so excited to share this program. There are so many people that need help, and they need a coach like you. And I will 100% vouch for Melissa. She is living the life that she's talking about. And that's the kind of motivation that I like to see, especially when promoting somebody else, that you are walking that talk. So thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you, Sharon, for having me.
So don't forget, if you mention that you have seen the show or listened to the podcast, Thai Technology, 3 months for free.